Can I change your name? No, but I can change my name. So our names show up on the Zoom, by the way.
Yours just went away.
No, like on the recording. I just checked.
Oh.
So don't do anything nefarious with that.
What does mine say? Does it just say Kellen Frank?
It just says Kellen.
Oh, good. Then I'll edit out that part where I said my last name. I don't want the people.
Your Twitter handle says your last name, and we post that on everything.
Because I'm very frank. That's why I named it that.
Nice. I like the idea of...
Years.
What?
Been doing that joke for years.
And my grandfather did that joke before me, and my father before me.
Actually, neither of them was very sincere. So it was ironic.
Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song starts playing. Let's see how many views we're at. I think I've already came up with the name of this episode, by the way.
Oh.
It's just all our biggest hit items, but in order. So it's the name of this episode is episode. Oh, we're episode 30. Hey, cool.
Look at that, the big trio. The age I'm afraid to turn.
Oh, soon. It'll be soon.
5 years.
But I want to name it Torn Naked Sex Boobs. Let's just see how many views we get just from like kids looking up YouTube and not understanding what's happening.
We're going to radicalize a generation of children. I don't know what radicalism, but
unfortunately what we're doing is radicalizing a generation of horny teenagers, which is a dangerous group.
And to be clear, not radicalizing teenagers who are horny. We are making them radically horny. Horny in ways that the establishment does not approve of.
Or, honestly, just ready to handle. Planned Parenthood will be taking over Starbucks as the #1 retail business.
Can I get an abortion as a fetish?
Why do you think of the most sicko shit, and why do I have to have a podcast with you?
I want a vacuum in my pussy and a cock in my mouth. Let's get started, Doc.
Like that's how you achieve orgasm? No, that's how I start to achieve orgasm.
Yeah, no, it gets worse from there.
That's the only part I can say on Zoom before they take me down.
Yeah, see, the next thing you would do is you want to take about this size and you'd go and
just like I imagine you freezing, and that's how I come.
And then it comes back and my shirt's off and my face is way redder.
Oh, you sweat. Right. Wait a second.
And that.
Whoa! No, we're doing visual bits. We're doing visual bits. Hang on.
That you're gone though.
Well, it's a visual bit.
That you're gone?
And then I come out. See, it's a visual bit. You gotta believe in me.
All right, so you've got one Panama hat that you just took off, and there's yet another in the background.
Panama hat number 2.
Yeah, no.
Oh, God. I forgot that we have a lot of Spotify listeners, so let me describe what's happening.
Titties out.
I'm now shirtless.
He said
well, I was shirtless in a fancy hat that amazes and appalls those around you. A hat that only Michael Crichton could imagine.
Really is the term for it. And yes, it's not that.
What's his name?
I'm not taking my shirt off, but I want to give the folks something.
Oh, you got to stop the video and then start.
For audio listeners, I took my pants off.
You got to stop the video and then start describing a sex act and then come back on.
With one button done, because I am a very proud.
And then I put on a sweater. John Mulaney. We just got to start. We can do other people's bits. We just got to start citing our work.
Or we don't. And then people are like, where did I hear that? It must have been It's Just Bits. What a good show that covers so many different styles of humor.
See, that's illegal.
The laws are nothing but threats from the government. Congrats on our government, by the way.
Wait, what'd you say?
We had the government's new.
Yeah, brand new.
Different guy.
So everything's fixed.
Everything's good now? I don't know. I do like a guy named the Second Gentleman.
What?
Because they would normally the vice president's wife is the second lady, but Kamala refused to go gay to win the gay vote, so she still has a husband, and he's the Second Gentleman.
What I like to imagine him, he just like is in a band that doesn't do very well and lives at home and eats Cheetos and stuff. Like I
think he does stuff.
I prefer to imagine him to make Kamala more likable. I assume she is in a relationship with the classic out of work dad.
A NEET in the old internet parlance.
A what?
It's not in education, employment, or something else is the T, but it refers to someone who's like 22 and lives in their parents' house and is on 4chan a lot. Yeah,
so her husband is that. And he's just like a generally cool dude, but he's like, Kamala got it for me. So now I just, pipe her every once in a while and then hang out at home and play Xbox.
That's the life, man. Congratulations, Doug.
My gamer tag is Bernie2020. Jesus, really?
He kept his last name, though, which is very unfair.
What?
She's the famous one, so he has to take her name. That's how it should work, by the way. Whoever is the most famous, they keep their name. And then the other person has to.
Well, cool. I get to keep the name then. It's by a thin margin of error.
Kylie does something big in the next year, so.
She's got a year and a few months. I think we decided on June 18th, I think. So, people on the internet, crash it.
Go up.
It's at the Biltmore Country Club. Just destroy the place.
I mean, we won't be doing a podcast that day, so if you watch your content, you're going to need to come and watch the speeches.
Do a live podcast at the wedding, and then just see how long it takes Kylie to divorce me. That's
Did you ask someone before the vows?
What'd you say?
You actually divorced someone before the vows? Well, that's why you people officiating, because then one of them is a divorce lawyer for each of you.
Smart. They're both bad lawyers. Just bad.
No, neither of them would be good lawyers, I don't think. Or maybe they would if they'd gone to school for it, but they didn't. They went to school for our dumb shit.
Mm-hmm. Which is going great. That's why I can afford 2 hats.
Yeah, it's going well. I mean,
I'd be dead in the gutter if not for my degree. So, good.
Still might,
Give it a second.
Life comes at you fast. So do bullets.
Gutters come at you fast, too.
They do. Yeah, you slip, they come right up at your head.
Do you know from experience? Oh, dude,
I don't know if I fell in a gutter, but I did fall in the street.
You've never told that story on the podcast.
I mean, I got very drunk and fell on my face. It's the story.
You're bad at this.
The funny part of the story is that I was being supported by my cousin as he took me back to his parents' house to sleep it off. This is like 2 years ago. And then he met some friends just out. It was a couple days before Christmas. And I take my hand off his shoulder to go shake their hands. And I just step forward and down. And I did not actually bash my skull on the pavement. There was a concrete wall next to me. And I sort of skidded on that on the way down. So I had a big old scrape right here. And to work
it looked like an upside down cross. It was awesome.
It did not look like an upside down cross. It was just a straight line. And it was directly in the middle of my forehead. It's just bits, by the way, the podcast where I've fallen. But it's exactly here. If you've got shit here or here, that doesn't look stupid. That looks like, oh, I got into some shit. Like maybe I was beat up by a biker gang trying to save a 10-year-old boy from, being indoctrinated into the biker gang, which is how they propagate. But no, it was right down the middle of my head. Clearly, I had fallen out of incompetence and foolishness.
And then you went to work the next morning, right?
No, the next morning I went to my parents' house for Christmas Eve. And then 2 days later, I went to work. and I still have the skin for it.
Oh yeah, it was around for like 2 weeks, dude. It was big.
Oh god, it was a big one.
Well, I'll spend this entire podcast doing scar stories. That sounds awesome. But I've got one on like literally the bridge of it's hard to see through Zoom, but yeah, right there.
15 frames per second, 480p.
Dead center on my nose, like right here.
Either a video artifact or a scar.
But it's like right where my brow line is, so it's like it's easy to conceal. But I got it from doing a backflip off of a pier. And you would think, when saying that, you would think that I had hit a pier on the way down, right?
Yes.
Because that's like the only logical direction. I hit the backflip perfectly, and then when I like turned around in the water, I went up, and I just went up face first into the pier. I wasn't doing a crazy physical act. It was just me swimming.
The flip and then busted your head.
I could say I was swimming and I would be no more wrong. But it was like it peeled like an orange down past like this big knuckle in my nose.
No.
Yeah, I should have gotten stitches, but I did not because we were in a
just smash it back.
Oh yeah, I held it back for a while, and then after about an hour it stuck, and then later I was drinking and I noticed that as I was drinking it started bleeding more. And then I would stop drinking, and it would like slow down and stop bleeding. And then I would drink, and it would bleed more. And I'm like, oh, it's because my blood alcohol content is like my blood's getting thinner, and then it's thickening.
And alcohol evaporates, so it's got to get out through your neck.
You got to aerate your blood. But it was like,
guys, if you get COVID, if you get anything, aerate your blood. That'll agitate COVID. And
the best way to aerate is down the middle of your forearm, by the way, as deep as you can get.
Get an air compressor, and you can. It doesn't have to be precise. Jerry rig a syringe to that.
You can also just fill a syringe with air and inject that into your bones. That kills
if you want it to take all day to get rid of your COVID, if you want it gone,
you know that
it has CO2 canisters in it, so you're supposed to stab people and then press the button, and it explodes all their organs, which feels like it shouldn't be legal, but who knows?
What is it?
It's a knife that in the handle is a CO2 canister, and then there's a hollow part of the blade, sort of like a syringe. So you
that's illegal.
Stomach, and then you press a button, and like their ass.
That's a war crime. I'm pretty sure that's against the Geneva Convention.
Probably. I mean, triangular blades are against the Geneva Conventions because they don't fucking heal.
What do you mean?
Like if it, like a triangle extruded along a blade. So instead of the blade being flat, it's got a triangle. It's got a long.
Oh, because it just takes a piece of you with it.
No, it punches such a big hole that they couldn't sew it up back in 1103 or whenever they did the Geneva Convention.
Dude, there's so many weird rules about war where it's like we can have
rules about it.
It should just be like you can't kill people. What? Yeah, you can have wars with items, like drone war only from now on. And then whoever loses all their drones, they get the
drone on drone. Not the way that we do drone wars now.
Yes, drone on drone, just so we're clear. So like 2 drones are having a wedding and you bomb the wedding of 2 drones.
But the bombs are guys. The bombs are stuffed with bombs.
So you're about to get away with no casualties, and then last second the bombs they drop are just dudes with vests on.
Yeah, no, this sounds like a great idea. Let's train the robots to kill and give them a reason to hate us.
Well, that's why we strapped guys with bombs on their chest, because then they're like, well, they're killing themselves too, so
this is okay.
Yeah, so I guess people just die. I do like the idea of 2 drones. Dearly beloved, we gather here. What the hell is that? Oh my.
I like the idea of 2 drones getting married.
Also,
it's cute. But one of them's a predator drone, so the other one's like an iPod Nano or like a young drone.
Oh, God. I think iPod Nano, an iPod Nano would be really old. So it'd be like an iPhone 12.
I was thinking of like an iPod Shuffle would be the little kid, and then.
But an iPod Shuffle is 20 years old.
No, I know, but.
So it'd be an iPhone 12. Then you get the number right there.
But in terms of vibe, the iPod Shuffle does seem to be a prepubescent iPhone.
You're thinking of the Twink, is what you're thinking of. An iPod Nano is a Twink.
No, what? Oh, you're thinking of the old iPod Shuffle that's skinny and white. I'm thinking of the newer iPod Shuffle that was even smaller and could be many colors.
Oh, and it had a screen, right?
No, and the Shuffles never had screens.
They do now, which defeats the purpose. I know, right?
Just an iPod Nano.
Yep, it's just a small iPod.
I had the one that was like a square and it had a clip on it.
Yep, there was a few versions. There was the one that was like a perfect square, and that one was cool. And then they did the flash drive one, where it just looks like a flash drive. And then they did
older.
Oh, that one's older? Huh.
Yeah, it's bigger.
And then I remember they had the square for a while, and then they went to instead of there being just the 4 buttons on the screen, now it's a screen. And I'm like,
so now it's not an iPod Shuffle. It's not.
Yeah. Well, no, it's this big. It's the size of my watch. So it's like, okay.
It's still not an iPod Shuffle.
True.
When I was a kid, I had the long, the bar one, and I had the coolest set of speakers where you flipped up a little thing, and then you put the USB in that, and then flipped it down, and the iPod Shuffle became part of the speakers.
Like a VCR tape deck.
Close, yeah.
Oh, you remember when they had do you remember how old are you?
VCRs? Yeah.
I'm down to do just Scar stories and how old are you today?
I don't want to turn 30, said the 50-year-olds.
No, but do you remember when they had the big back TVs, but they would build them into cabinets that also had a VCR rewinder in the cabinet, like built into the cabinet? We had one of those.
TV? I know. I do not remember that.
So remember when your family first got a flat screen TV?
Vaguely.
So when that happened, that is when my dad started garbage picking all the really nice TVs from really rich areas that just got like a giant TV. So they're like, well, we don't need our 82-inch box TV. That thing can go to hell. And my dad was like, thank you very much. And he took it. So when you got that new generation of the flat screen TV, we probably came around and took your old, nice, wood-grained box TV that had to be a piece of furniture because it was so big.
I recall TVs being paired with cabinets a la the fly.
Built into cabinets. The person who lives upstairs from me right now has a TV cabinet.
Okay,
it's like,
I don't know.
You have to open the doors, and then there's the TV here. That's
that piece of furniture, but I always thought that the TV was placed inside.
Well, that is the step down from what I am describing, because
you get the TV sort of stuck to the sides like a turtle skeleton.
That's the one that I'm describing, where it's like it was like mahogany. It was nice, and everything was built in, like from the 50s. Imagine a TV in the 50s, not a standalone TV, but one that's built into like an entertainment center with a record player and this and that, and a radio, and yada yada yada. They had those. They rebooted those in the 70s, or in the 80s and shit, and they were awesome until anything broke, and then you had to burn them. It's like, well, we lost a cable. Throw a match at it. Burn the whole house down.
Get at it.
There's so many steps. My dad tried to repair one once, and it was just like, you take the back panel that's wood off, and you look inside, and you're just like, get the fire started. Jesus Christ.
It's like maintenance on a cheap American car.
Yeah. Or any of the cars nowadays.
Or DVD player combos?
Yeah, I remember those. Why?
Because I still had a lot of stuff on VCR, VHS, but I also wanted to get stuff on DVD. So
but imagine, like, explain that to, like, aliens or something. Just be like...
No, that's why I love it, because explain that to a 15-year-old now. First of all, explain VHSs. We used to... You know those tape decks that you buy ironically for bands that came out now? Well, we had bigger ones that had movies on them. And then at a certain point, we went from that to putting movies on discs, which is still foreign to you because you're used to your streaming services and your Hulus and Netflix.
No, kids get like VHS and DVD. I just don't think they get, why would you mix the two? Okay, I'm getting a...
Who is it?
It's coming through my computer because every once in a while, when I get a phone call, it decides to port it through my computer. I don't want, why would I want it? Why would I
You've
want
done your phone service is the equivalent of like someone and there's like a snarl of phone lines on the fucking telephone pole.
Do you remember when my phone service changed every week? Were you around for that time?
I remember when the number I called you and then you didn't pick up and then a different number would call me back.
Yup. I had like, in the span of a year, I had 12 phone numbers. Because the cheapest one always is like, comes up right after, the price competition sticks around for so long until you get to the bare minimum, and then you buy that one. But you can take it the whole way down now. Like I said, stairs.
There's a certain amount of convenience I'm willing to pay for, in that I've had the same phone number my entire life.
Monthly bills are something that I cannot stand. Like I can go out to dinner and drop $400 on a meal. I don't care. But if I have to pay $4 a month for something, it pisses me off to no ends.
That doesn't piss me off at all because I don't have to think about it. Which is how all life should be.
Good things just you want like fascism, communism. That's you want as close to Animal Farm as they could get, where it's just like everything happens for me. You're just hoping to God you're the pigs. That's
No, I don't need to be the pigs as long as I don't got to think about it.
It's like, yeah, I live in squalor, but I don't have choices, so that's nice.
That would be better for me, yes.
You might like prison.
Autistic people don't do well in prison. I've been told by experts.
Because you suggested this to them. You're like, I'm thinking about
because the only way they would do well in prison, I imagine, is if they got to know a guard really well and just followed all the rules real good. But like, you're not going to navigate the social hierarchies of prison if you can't do it, in real life where you have money.
And people are being nice to you. Whereas in prison, it's like if you say the wrong thing, you'll get stabbed. And then you walk up to somebody and you think you're cooler with them than you are. And you say, "What up, cunt?" And then you're dead.
I wouldn't do that, but I would say the wrong thing.
If you're like, "Yeah, I bet your sister's a whore." Ha 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 ha. Oh, no.
Speaking of sisters and sex, where are we going with this one? Any guesses? Any guesses?
I don't want to know.
No, you know what? No, incest porn has officially gone too far because today I wanted to watch the SNL skit where Andy Samberg and Justin Timberlake fuck each other's moms, and I had to search 4 times before I got a Pornhub link. Because apparently the name of the sketch is Mother Lover, but if you try and search that song by lyrics, Google is like, "Oh, you're looking for this, aren't you?"
We'll fuck each other.
Not a lot of our episodes.
I wouldn't be zero shock. I'm really excited to name this episode. What is it? I'll check before I name it, but porn, naked, sex, boobs. And see, what if we get like 25,000 views?
Just then like, every episode is like, okay, naked, sex, boobs, porn.
And then we just move on. And then we do the whole episode. Just mention it once. And then do the whole episode.
Ooh, you know what I saw on Twitter today? The baldo. It's actually you put on your balls to make them a dick. So now you got 2. And one of them's dangly under you.
Is it like a suction cup?
Why it'd be good. But I did see an advertisement for it.
It's for the insecure man who wants to DP his wife. I understand.
Okay.
It's for the up and coming sexual liberation / absolute freak.
Yeah, they'll sell them at Planned Parenthood. You want to fuck but don't want to get your girlfriend pregnant? Fuck her with your balls. It did say, so now you have a second cock that always stays hard. It was in the ad. And I don't know if it was a real ad, but it looked pretty real.
And then the other thing you can do is just get a dildo that's got a suction cup on the end, and then you can just suction cup it to your gut. And you got 3.
And I'd have to shave.
For
For the same reason that firemen are not allowed to have beards, I would not be able to use that product.
It'll set on fire?
No, they can't have beards because the mask won't seal.
I thought it would set.
So if you were a fireman, you would be dead.
Well, I assume I'd shave first.
Well, yeah, but if it was like a snap decision and you went in now.
Oh, dude, I have been convincing Kylie. I'm going to go just mustache soon. I just have to do it. Look at me. I'm ridiculous. I have to do just mustache.
Just mustache is like, it's in. Like, you can do it.
It's hipster mecca. I think it's like mandatory for anybody who wears a hat like this. It's like eventually you just got to go for just mustache, man.
You're turning it. I don't know what type of guy it is, but you're turning into a type of guy.
It's not a good. It's I like to be the type of guy that cannot be defined, but you're close when you say almost anything. It's like he's a hipster. That covers some of it. If what I am was a magic show and being normal was pulling a rabbit out of the hat, then I'm one of those never-ending handkerchiefs.
You're possible to describe to a bartender.
By the way,
I'm looking for a guy in the bar who looks like.
Yeah, if he's wearing the hat, you know exactly who I'm talking about. It's like there's nobody with a hat in here. I'm like, damn, that's like the best. if you look around the bar and you see 1,000 hats, you'll know the hat I'm talking about.
But when I call the bartender, because it's 1995 and I have to call a bartender to get a hold of you in a bar, and I say, it's the hat that Dodson had on. Well, no, actually, in 1995, everyone had just seen Jurassic Park, so that would work.
Everybody would totally get that. Also, the handkerchief joke I did was Dean Craig Pelton from Community. Send up to Dan Harmon.
Cite your sources.
It's just other people's bits. Oh, you didn't notice, but I changed my name to Connor Fucks, like at the beginning.
I noticed. I didn't dignify it.
Oh. I'm already on season 6 of Community, and the first episode of season 6 is like, literally, season 5 is like, we're going to be okay. And then the first episode of season 6 was like, no, we're not. Nope.
Well, do I even need to watch season 6 then?
Just skip right to episode 2. Or just watch it and see what I'm talking about, because they do have a few good points in there, but it's like Dan Harmon's losing control, and it's literally, they do like a meta thing in the episode where it's like, Abed's
losing. Play that what just happened at your trial, that you're getting a deep dive into the backstory of Community while getting your hair just so.
I just want it under the hat. I'm a simple man.
No, ladies and gentlemen, the jury, this was not simply a friendly Zoom call. This was a podcast. Yes, immediately.
He's like, I know that he is not the one on the podcast who does the baby voice, but he does continue to platform the man with the baby voice.
Yeah, no, you're complicit. You're complicit in my crimes.
Gross.
When they set out to kill me for this, they will dig 2 graves.
One for me and one for freedom of speech.
It's breaking the Constitution and to death.
I do love the argument, because you can, if you go up and start talking to baby voice to a cop, he will arrest you. I care. Freaks have no place in this society, which is wrong. They deserve.
Or they have either no place or like they get to run it.
At least the media.
I mean, briefly, we're going back to more boring presidents now, but briefly we have a president who was a war criminal like all the rest. But you know,
I like
that it was fun to look at.
I like that our president is walking back the fact that people with student loans deserve to live, and also that kids in cages are actually people. He's walking those back, and we're still better. It's better.
Yeah, he's not actively telling anyone to kill anyone.
I think when Trump first got into office, they were like, how far can you lower the bar so that the next guy gets nothing done and everybody blows him for it? And Trump's just like, hold my beer. Ha 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 ha. I don't drink beer. I drink pussy juice. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Give me that juice. And then everybody's everybody's like, he's good. I think he's going to do really good for this country.
By the way, speaking of blowing the president for it, why does everybody want to fucking suck Joe Biden so bad? Because I see it on Twitter. They're horny for the motherfucker.
Bang his son and get it over with. I'm telling you.
Yeah, there are people to get horny for.
Cool, a super cool dude. Like, if we're being honest, he's just a normal guy. But since his life's in the spotlight, everybody's like, "Bruh," but it's like every working class American has done exactly what he's done. I guarantee.
Someone on a different podcast did say, like, Hunter Biden's thing is he wants to be a good person, but he's been surrounded by the ruling class all his life, so he has no clue how to do that. And so, cocaine foot job, which if you can't be a genuinely good person, cocaine foot job.
Yeah.
That's not the name of the episode?
Shit. Damn it.
With a cocaine foot job in a black four-seater.
Damn, cocaine foot job is a pretty good name. Shit. Well, we'll make a last-second call. Eventually, we got to name one of the episodes Porn Naked Sex Boobs. And I want to know how many hits we'll get from that. I don't even think I'll include, like, episode blank, just porn names.
I can just name my autobiography Cocaine Foot Job if I want. I would, of course, have to get a foot job while on cocaine in order to make it accurate, but,
Just the entire autobiography is written through tears because you did not like it. You're like, I felt weird, and I couldn't get it up for most of it.
Well, I could blame that on the coke.
I do have a friend who sent me a video of him getting a foot job, but he had an eggplant over his dick. And I was just like, what the fuck? And he's like, this person's ex-boyfriend of 3 years was really into it. So now she's really good at it. And I'm like, what?
Okay. Important information, for sure. Could have just been delivered verbally, I feel like. If you really want to show off, like, the foot job technique, the tonique, if you will,
nice.
But you're gonna put the eggplant on it, so you can't see the intricacies.
I could tell she was the hip flexion and rotation alone was proof that she was good at it. She had skill.
How would you even be good at a foot job? I don't even.
3 years of dating a man.
I guess.
Yeah, 3 years of experience. 3 years of experience to any video editor. Gonna be an amazing video editor. 3 years of experience.
24 years and I'm still very bad at it. But existing is what I mean. But I always assumed foot jobs were just sort of a gimmick. Like, I see how you could be good at a blowjob or a hand job, but being good at a foot job, like, there's less articulation. There's it just seems.
I think it might also be her.
She has a craft I don't, I guess.
I think it might also be her build. She's like built like a gymnast, like short and movable. So I think
Michael Phelps would be great at foot jobs.
No. You gotta be little and flexible. That's the thing. You gotta be able to.
But his legs were little.
I think the torso gets in the way, though. I identify with Michael Phelps. I also have a very long torso for my body, so I get it.
I do, but it's just because I have the legs. I'm baby legs. I look like baby legs.
Baby legs Jones. Baby legs foot jobs.
Well, okay. All right. Hypothetical. If baby legs from Rick and Morty gave you a foot job, you going to prison?
Is that about what's going to happen? Where we go?
Because he's a detective, so if it's illegal, he's got you. So the only question is it illegal to get a foot job from baby underage legs attached to a normal body?
I think what they do is they take the age of the top half and the age of the bottom half, and then they do the math.
Sure. So if he's in his 40s, if he's like late 30s, then you're good.
If he's 30, I think it's 36. You're cut. That's a tough one.
All right. I'm recording as I say something incriminating here. suppose an underage girl had a terrible heart condition, but thanks to our wonderful healthcare system, she received a transplant from someone very old. Does that mean that I cannot be prosecuted, that a court in the land would convict me?
Well, I think if it's a brain transplant, you might be okay.
Well,
no, because that's like saying,
I was gonna do like the only brain transplant would be like her transplant brain, but it is a hypothetical where I'm the bad guy trying to figure out how to legally fuck a 16-year-old. You don't want to be that guy.
That's not a great guy to be. But my computer screens just all shut off at once, and that was fun. I thought we just lost the Zoom, and I was going to be very sad.
So many great incriminating bits.
No. You're mute.
Wait, what?
Is it me or is it you?
It's you.
Oh, of course it's me. What is it? What are you doing here? Nobody likes this. It might be me, but I could not tell you what part of it. There we go. I got it. Hey, talk.
I'm telling you. I'm saying words.
Okay, cool.
There's fucking feedback, and that's got to end.
It's just the speakers.
Are they good?
Can you hear the feedback still, or no? Are you good?
No, it's gone now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, right, my speakers. Stop doing that. It's weird.
Look how long my finger looks.
Well,
by the way, look how fucking crooked it is. Yeah? It's like, it's not straight. None of them are.
The next time you take a dick pic, that's how you do it.
Oh, yeah.
I've always wanted to take a dick pic in front of the sun and be like, look, it's blotting out the sun. Just for fun. But then you got to do it either in nature or near a window, and both are dangerous.
Yeah, I would do nature.
It's definitely cool.
Although I have been going on nature walks because it's supposed to help depression. But it sucks around here now because I live closer to the city, and there's fucking people all over the place, even in the places that are green on the map. And back at my parents' house, I walk into the prairie and be alone.
I think what you need to do is get yourself that cabin in the woods we've been talking about, and a mail order bride. Plow the land.
Do it.
Dude, plow the land for vegetables and fruit, and then plow her for meat. I mean, eat your babies. And there you go.
Well, I wouldn't want to raise them, so.
You can eat them. Because you live in the middle of nowhere. Who's going to stop you?
No rules. I should just do that now. In my prime, I should do it.
Just a cabin. Well, if you get a cabin in the woods with Wi-Fi and then live tweet your slow descent into madness, that'd be pretty great.
I'm considering this. And I could still do the podcast if I had Wi-Fi.
And then also, you have to give your wife a Twitter, and she tweets in her native language, so you can't read it. And then you're getting double exposure.
I'm offended that you think I would purchase a woman that wasn't American made. I buy my women like I buy my trucks.
American made? Poorly crafted?
Poorly crafted, American made, gigantic exhaust pipe.
That's from all of the garbage you put into them, though. The garbage being your penis.
Yeah, no, I was gonna see if you did it, and if you didn't, I was gonna. Yeah. Can you change your name to Connor Fuchs?
Connor Fuchs State? I
was going to say Fuchs, but Fuchs State's pretty good.
I don't know.
Don't know who I am for the rest of the episode.
Connor, is that... Oh,
Look, he's confused. He's in Fuchs State.
There it is. Fuchs. That's how you spell it, right?
I think so.
It looks, the more I look at it, the more wrong it sounds.
Did you go into a fugue state where you no longer know how to spell fugue?
Hang on.
I'll Google fugue. Oh, that'd be a funny joke. What?
You can go all the way across. That's great.
Are you in a fugue state yet? Are you susceptible to my lies?
I think you're thinking of hypnosis.
I'm your dad. Give me all your money.
There we go. Oh yeah, that one's staying. That just looks. It looks good.
Add an apostrophe S to your name, and it'll be perfect.
Oh what?
Add an apostrophe S, so it's Connor's Porn Naked Sex Boobs.
Oh hell yeah.
Like it's a small business.
Please
Well,
click on that.
Porn Naked Sex Boobs.
we got. We sell all of it, or at least like we do in the podcast, pretend like we do, just to get you in here, and then we beat you over the head.
What do you want? Cocaine, foot job, blowjob, abortion? We got it all.
We at least mention it. At the very least, it's on a sign somewhere in the store. I like the idea. I like the idea of a 30-second commercial. What?
No, I just got stuck on the phrase blowjob abortion.
I assume that's like
It's where your parents come in while you're getting blown because you're, still living in your parents'
so you're
abort,
literally aborting it.
Abort button.
Oh, so you're literally aborting it. Okay, I thought it was like where.
Originally I was calling back to the joke where someone wanted to do an abortion as a fetish, but now it's a new thing.
I prefer that one's easier to do, where there's like a big panic button, and I like the idea that you hit it and a curtain drops in between you and the door to your room, and it's just like a perfect image of like you just sitting in your chair doing nothing. It's just like, what's going on? Nothing? Why isn't your mouth moving? Get out!
One time, my dad came to my door to tell me that we couldn't have doors closed, which was a rule I didn't know because I never fucked in high school. But apparently it was a standing rule in the house. And I was like, oh, sorry, I'll leave it open.
What?
And I was like, oh, no, I've given the game away.
What, he thinks you were doing cocaine?
No, this is from a vagina.
Oh. No, this is from
Hitler?
No, this is Hitler.
Oh, well, I mean, this is.
Yeah, touche. Let's
Why
not
do you
get
think I put cocaine in my parents' house?
I thought you were cool.
No, I'm a fucking nerd. Get laid.
Nerd. I bet you get laid instead of doing cocaine.
Yeah, both of those things are a lie.
I don't do either. So you had a girl in your room at your parents' house? How old were you? Was this like yesterday?
No, this was, I don't know, I was in college.
That would be, I do like the idea of the absolute bold move of like coming home to stay at your parents' house for a weekend and then busting in drunk with like a girl or something like that. And just fucking, I'm going in the room. What the hell's happening? I'll be in my room.
I'm a guest, not a child now. There is, I don't think any of the people I've ever house sat for listen to this, so it should be fine, but I'll keep it vague. Someone I house sat for, I was house sitting for them, and then my girlfriend came over. This was like right after high school, and she was like, we can't have sex. I'm on my period. And I was like, are you worried it's a problem for me, or is it a problem for you? And it ended up not being a problem.
For anybody.
And every time I go over to their house, I'm like, that futon, narrow escapes on that.
Never the same. It will never be the same. The futon has been to Vietnam. Let's just say it's seen some things.
Yeah, its own personal Vietnam was, probably the face I made, I assume.
Just flashbacks, but of your face instead of bombs exploding.
Just like.
Yeah.
Memory is interesting, isn't it? How it's so associated with places.
Sometimes, yes.
It's to me, at least. It's mainly places I fucked, actually.
That's the only, Alzheimer's, like, you know how like they'll have Alzheimer's video where somebody's playing the piano and that's how they remember.
Right.
It's just you banging places. It's just
There
like, look.
I was back at my parents' house today, and driving back, I took a detour of like other places I'd been, and I driving past, and I go, I had sex in that church parking lot.
That's
Didn't
so.
mean
That's
to pass by the church. I was just like, oh, wait a minute.
those are your moments of lucidity when you're 95 and Alzheimer's. They're like you're like shaking and then
they're taking me to church for like last rites.
They put you into a lady pretty much, and then you're like, it was Dolores, 97.
He's like, my name's Brandy.
Be great.
And I'll be like, I ordered an old fashioned. I'll be a fucking tyrannical old man. Because I'm just waiting for it.
To die or to get laid because of your Alzheimer's?
No, I'm currently waiting to be an old man so I can just, be awful to people. And they're like, well, he's old.
Which is how people be.
Yeah, you can just be like, you're an idiot and I hate you and I'm going to kill you. And then your son leads you away. And the person you were yelling at is like, well, that's, he's old. And then you die. But, later.
Well, or then. Really, whenever.
If you're going Connor Fjord, you at least go all the way and go Conar Fjord. Connar.
Okay.
This better fucking be a recording, or this is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, we do so many visual bits, and we have a
sorry, Spotify.
Yeah, well, watch this one on YouTube, or we describe it basically. I've changed my name to Conar Fjord, but Brendan never listens, so he will not hear this because that's his favorite bit.
That's Connor's alter ego, who's Swedish.
We should start adding Brendan and atting every Brendan in every episode until he gets fired from his job. It'll be great. At him and at wherever he works. I was about to say.
Find out his boss's Twitter.
Oh, there you go. Every time. And
by the way, at work, I have a secondhand Twitter reputation because none of them follow me. But you and Lauren keep talking about my Twitter. So on the day that people were storming the Capitol, Josh goes like, yeah, don't tweet anything today. Like, I already have.
Why would he say don't tweet anything today?
Because my Twitter reputation is that I go crazy about politics, which I do. And also I have some very good humors.
Sure. John was talking to me the other day, and he was like, yeah, so the people in digital love you, yada, 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 and they heard that you do comedy. They've heard some of your podcasts. They love them. I'm like, I'm like, huh? So they're like, yeah, they were asking if you could take any of that comedy to digital. Then, like, if you think of anything good, then just pitch it, and we'll use it. I'm like,
God, I got out of that, man. Thank fucking God. That I fucking.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. I'm still mad that they didn't use my pitch of when a sycamore falls in the rack, but nobody's around to hear it, doesn't make a sound. So good. So good. But they didn't use it. I'm like, is it too long? They're like, yeah, we have this much room. That's a sentence. I'm like, damn.
They could have tweeted that.
It's kind of late now.
Well, I said they could have. Not. I mean, it'd be okay. They should tweet it now and be like, remember when Rutgers played Sycamore? Well,
that'd be a Wendy's ass tweet. That's a Wendy's ass tweet. Which I don't know why they don't go like harder on like, yeah, screw schools that aren't in our network, because they should do that more. That's fun.
Like I do constantly.
Oh yeah, all the time. Poor, what the hell was the name of that guy? Trevor Lawrence. Oh, he's gonna have to cut his hair now.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he will. When he has to get a real job / go to a real football.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence isn't gonna get drafted.
Well, to the military, I hope. What? Did you just go get another beer? Nice.
Yeah. Jeez, bro, I'm fucking cracking a brew, dude.
Oh, dude, give me a tour of your room real quick. I need to know.
Oh, it looks like real bad right now.
That's why.
All right. I literally walked in from being at my parents' house this morning and being like, maybe this is why I feel terrible.
It helps if you clean it. That's a pizza.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's from yesterday.
Nice.
That's the closed chair.
Is that clean or dirty?
Those are clean.
Nice.
But they just go there out of the laundry. I don't know. There. Look.
These are things.
You like
Your
it?
end table needs a light. A
My
lamp.
what?
Your end table needs a lamp.
Eh.
Dude, pay a woman to come into your house and fix it. Seriously. When I was living in college, it was one of the best. When I lived alone for the brief 3-month period, one of the best things I did was have friends over and then be like, help me make this not crappy. And then we spent a day shopping together, and they loved it, and I had a nice house afterwards. And it was great. And then I left.
This decor represents me.
Okay, but so when you go shopping with them and they pick something up and they're like, how about this? You could be like, I'm gay, but I'm not that gay. And then they're like, haha, and then they set it down, and then they grab something else. And that's how the world works. I feel like they're going to walk into your house and be like, well, 90% just clean the place. And then...
I just need to not have the clothes on the floor. That's it.
Well, no, but they'll do things that you would not expect, like get a hamper or something.
I have a
Yeah, but like a nice one, it matters. It's weird, but it matters. Like there's a hamper and then there's a laundry basket. They're two separate things.
Okay, well mine is made of wicker, so
good. That's good.
Fancy, right?
But you have that and a laundry basket, right? Two separate ideas.
What? No.
See, things you don't think about.
That's ridiculous.
I agree. What? It's ridiculous.
I got a container for my clothes, and I take them out of that container, and I put them in a different container, and then I walk over to the laundry room, and I take them out of that container, and I put them in the washer, and then I put them back in the other container, and I walk them back to my room, and then I put them in my closet. It's madness. It's no.
Wait, is it like? It's just okay. Well, if it's just wicker, I don't know. But like those little things that like seem like you're just adding an extra task also make your place seem nicer. Is what happens. The further removed, the harder it is to find a garbage in a kitchen, the nicer the kitchen. And the same rule applies to anything in your house. The harder it is.
Mine is out.
Yeah, exactly. If you have to unlock a combination lock to get to the garbage in a kitchen, that's a nice fucking house.
Yeah, no, because when I go to someone's house, I love it when I have to search for the fucking garbage can. That's a good thing.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it does make it a nice.
I fucking Dennis Leary your ass, I swear to God.
Which is?
I just want coffee flavored coffee, okay? www.whatthefuck.com.
Oh,
man, it's just being annoyed about,
other people's bits.
I mean, yeah, that is other people's bits, but I'll do it about hampers.
There you go. Do you like my crooked? Wait,
hamper? I barely know her. Sorry, go ahead.
There, I finally can point at it. My crooked sound panel on the wall. I'm very good at housing.
The crookedness doesn't register to me as bad. It may be on purpose.
Ooh, it's avant-garde. It's avant-art.
Hipster. Hip.
They should rename it to avant-art. It's right there.
But avant-garde means advanced. Like it means something in French.
Well, nobody knows that here, so I think I measure it that if you know a fact.
For a very long time, and it sounded like you were going to say something other than "I'm right," so I'm glad that you froze and I didn't hear it.
Going our fjord.
Going our fjord. Yeah, I mean it's because you're in the fjords and there's bad Wi-Fi in the fjords.
I thought it was. Well, I assume my last name is Fjord because I'm like the shoemaker is somebody's last name because they made shoes. I make fjords. So
it takes fucking forever with that hand trowel that you use.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't they like deep as fuck too? Like they're not just like it's not a shallow bay. It's like crazy fucking deep.
Yeah, I think it's like one of those creeks that'll murder you. Like those, like
the Strid.
The what?
That's what one of them's called, the Strid.
It's one of those like mountain creeks that seems like it's just a little creek, but it's just like a vertical shaft of water,
It's
pretty
like an
much.
entire river that turned on its side, and if you go in there, you get all mashed up.
I
like
love
the
those
inside of the pods from Half-Life.
I don't get why people because people die in those all the time, but it's because people, instead of dipping their foot in to check depth when they can't see the bottom of something, they assume. And I'm like, bold. I remember there was a story of somebody who was like, they went hiking and they were feeling adventurous. So they were walking and they saw a creek. And to be spontaneous, they were just like, wee, and jumped in the creek and were dead in 5 seconds. Because it's a vertical river. And they got
You act whimsical, you take your life into your hands.
Just imagine like going on a hike with a friend and they're like, oh my God, this is so much fun. Oh, look, a creek. I'm going to get wet. Tee-hee. And they disappear.
Oh, they had my fucking phone. Damn it.
What?
The person that just jumped in the river and is now dead? And my phone.
Yeah, they jumped into the river and they're like, oh, the worst thing that could happen is my phone would get wet. And then they're crushed against boulders instantaneously. They're like, oh, wow.
Pulverized into just sort of a bag of pulp and bone.
Pretty much. Oof.
But if you jump over it, you'll be fine. So, like,
which is the move.
That's how I would die. Is I'd be like, I could jump over it, and then I would slip and die.
Yeah. Well, usually you have like signs that it's like, this is not a normal creek. You will die.
You ever seen those signs that are in underwater caves that are like a Grim Reaper that says like, don't. There's a bunch of bodies back there, and you'll be one of them.
No, that's awesome. That's so
like
cool.
How on Everest they don't take the bodies down, so there's like landmarks are just like dead climbers.
Yeah. They should just keep a counter that it's like, hey, so people often stray off the path here to go take a picture of that mountain that you definitely want to take a picture of right now, and here's the body count of those people. and 12 of them came back, the rest didn't. It's like, whoa.
Climbing Everest can't be that hard, though. I saw a TikTok where a guy with no legs did it, so.
Well, in like a baby Bjorn?
I don't know how he did it. He just said he did. Maybe he was lying.
He's probably lying. You know those.
But also the guy from Rammstein did it with a broken leg. So.
Well, he is a god among men because Rammstein's a good band.
Yeah, pretty good.
And
I remember my little
99%.
old lady German teacher in college being like, "Oh yeah, Rammstein." I thought she was just showing it to us. German music. He was like, no, I listen to them. They're awesome.
It's badass. Well, yeah, because German people are either, there's 2 settings of German, and it's friendly McKlaus face, or I've killed before.
Or, yeah, even if they're not Nazis, they are hardened.
Well, there's two types of, God damn it, I can't do the same bit twice. Either they're Germans or they've killed the Germans. Either they're Nazis or they kept killing Nazis. And we're not able to be killed by Nazis, so they're very good.
Impressive. Could you imagine if I was able to couple this voice with the baby voice? What would happen?
Well, now that you have till Tuesday next week to figure out how to... Oh, when Tyler comes to the podcast...
Not me. I just really like the claws. And that's just a gay German guy. See, I got to work on this.
There's gotta be like a few key phrases where it's a mix. It's a hard. What is a German baby sound?
I do a lot of W's, but in German, all the W's would be these.
There, yeah.
What do baby Germans sound like?
That's what I'm thinking. I have no idea. Look up baby Germans.
We are not blonde. We are sprouted from the ground like the dwarfs. I'm not looking up baby Germans. I'm simply not.
I don't think that's going to be pornographic. I don't think that's
pornographic. It's not going to be pornographic. It's going to be watch listy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we officially have to stop.
Oh, really? Look at that. €26, huh?
For what?
To purchase a German baby.
That's cheap.
Well, euro or probably worth something. All right,
the
I'll watch
reason
it.
the American dollar is so strong is because they're willing to let people die to keep it that way. Invest in the American dollar.
Sorry about all the loved ones you've lost, audience, but stock market go up.
Hey, people I know have died too, but the stock market, that keeps me warm at night. The love of the stock market keeps me warm at night.
He said shortly before a murder spree. I mean, that's American psycho shit for sure.
Which, by the way, stockbrokers fine people, as long as they vote not for their job, but for the people in their life. Then they're good people. So a stockbroker is not automatically a bad person. A bad person is somebody who's like, well, I value my dollar more than stockbrokers. What I'm saying is, if you're able to afford to throw midgets at a wall, that's fine, as long as you still care about those you love. That's what matters. What?
And the midgets. Like, if they got good labor rights.
You're paying them. Dude, I mean, how much would you have to get paid to get just thrown at a wall?
I mean, not much, but that wouldn't be interesting. Not a midget.
Yeah. It might be more interesting. So, like,
free.
So it's like giant Jenga. When the craze of giant Jenga went around, now it's giant midget tossing.
Okay. There's a business idea. This is how we get the real good microphones.
Giant midget tossing. You just throwing people with a trebuchet.
Someone struggling to lift me.
It's like, why? I mean, yeah, I get the idea of a midget. It still takes two people.
Also, if we do this, we're allowed to say the M word.
The M word. Nice.
Yeah.
So
you really gotta fucking enunciate that.
The M as in M&M word. As in Mancy. It's just bits.
All people. Other people bits.
Quoting Archer.
It's a good show.
It's... I don't know who made that one, actually. It's what?
A snake, because you were like...
It's a snake. I also would like to name an episode of this podcast, It's Just Bits, episode whatever, It's Just Tits. Come on. It was right there.
We got to do it. I mean, we'll take a cue from Red Hot Chili Peppers. Do a shirtless one. It's just tits.
Instead of the sock one. Nice.
Yeah. We can't say what they put socks on because this is a family show.
But we can say it rhymes with socks on fox.
Fox on cocks.
Which, Google that and see what comes up.
Ooh, cocks on fox. Fox knew that.
Nice.
Come on, Tucker. I want to see if you put a bow tie on the little one, too.
Oh, yeah, so like a fireman calendar, but with the people who work at Fox.
Well, specifically the people who work at Fox with cocks. Which is men, because there's no trans people at Fox News. That's ridiculous. So,
there's got to be some...
Lou Dobbs.
There has to be somebody who works at Fox and is trans and is just like, it pays the fucking bills, man. It just...
I'm sure there's someone who works for, but not like, but not someone who's well known enough that they would be in the Cocks on Fox calendar.
Yeah. I don't get how people are like out there writing articles for Fox that are like, Joe Biden, could he be the worst president? And then like go to bed at night and are fine. And they're just like, okay.
I don't know. We work for Fox.
Yeah, but not that one. We do the fun, ball throwy, don't even touch on politics part. And they do because there are some articles that I've like seen just the headline for, and I'm like, how did whoever write this just write that and be like, yep, I'm okay with it. Oof.
There's crazy people. Anyway, you could make a Cocks on Fox calendar just by, checking the texts of every woman at Fox. You don't need
Anybody as hot as Tommy Lauren who works there could take down the whole company.
Work for Fox?
Yeah, didn't she get fired? Which I don't get.
I don't know. Well, I mean, first of all, they couldn't take down the company because there was a whole movie about how they were all trying to fuck all of the blonde anchors, and they're still doing it. So,
what's the name of that movie? I want to watch it.
Bombshell.
Bombshell.
It's weird to me that they made a movie about how, the women at Fox are treated poorly. Whoa.
All right, get this.
The women who work at Fox News don't shut up, ad.
Imagine if they pitched that to Fox first. They're like, all right, what production company will pick up this movie?
What do you think, Fox?
Well, we have to shop it around to Fox first, just to see what happens.
We're not going to make that.
Them just being like, so there's this just not mentioning the name of the company the whole time. Just there's this company.
I hope it's MSDNC.
And we're gonna buy this movie. This movie's amazing. We can't wait to make it. Just one question: what's the name of the company? Because you never said. And they're like,
they just smile at the camera, and then the music from the Bourne Identity plays and credits.
Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song, man. It's a catch-all.
Overused.
It's a catch-all. That's why. It's a trope because it's good.
I refuse. The Bourne Identity one, or the one where they're explaining how they stole the shit from Ocean's 11.
Oh no! Oh god!
Not Claire de Lune.
Oh god! I did that thing again.
Can you not hear me?
Sorry. My life is just a joke to you. I understand.
Racial slur.
I think that I can the audience can hear you and me when my shit shuts off. I just can't hear either of you, which is not the way this should be going.
Oh no, wait till you get tweets about what I said when you couldn't hear me.
The word racist slur over and over again.
Yeah. Racial slur. It actually heard her racial slur. That's sort of other people's bits. It's Eric Andre.
Nightmares. Eric Andre.
You can't do that.
I do. I mean, it's a good bit. Whatever. I'm gonna go make sure my girlfriend's not dying.
Yeah.
I did mess that up. Well,
I want to clean my room.
I think I'm gonna make... Yes. Well, I've been the house mom recently because Kylie's been incapacitated, so it's been neat.
Oh no, because you have to work still.
Yeah, I have to work and then also do all the chores around the house, so that's been fun. I'm not mad about it.
Segregation of the sexes. It's really not fair.
Also, maids, so that might be in my future. Just out of sheer laziness, hire a maid. Why not?
Make sure she's got the outfit.
I will also see if she's looking for a husband.
Yeah, she wants to clean my apartment without getting paid.
That's what a wife is.
Let that be a lesson to you, folks. That's your takeaway from this episode, which is called either cocaine foot job or porn sex naked boobs.
Both good names.
Respect women.
Bye, folks.
Listen to Call Her Daddy.